Hi, my lions. Welcome back to my channel. I'm happy to step into this reading today. I've had to do quite a bit of grounding, energy work, release, lots and lots of release to be able to sit here and relay this message to you, to dive into your energy. I feel like you are possibly standing in the middle of a threshold and there are two opposing forces and you're in the middle of those forces, and one of them feels like everything in your life is actually fine and wonderful and abundant and full of possibility and opportunity, and so it doesn't make sense why the other side, the opposing force, is this energy that feels depressed, it feels heartbroken, it feels almost like in grief of having possibly invested energy, resources, love into dynamics that did not bring you the results that you were hoping for. And both of these energies are you, but I feel like you are more focused on what didn't work out as opposed to everything that you have, everything that you've gained. And so for you to move through this energy, there is an acceptance that will need to happen on your part. And I really don't want to ask you to be the bigger person because that sucks and it's so annoying when you have to be more mature and when you have to take the high road, when in a sense that's what you're always doing, right? So it's like, what really, like, I don't get to, blow this up and burn this bridge. I've put up with so much, but what's beautiful about the advice that's coming through is that you're being asked to take the high road in the sense of compassion and forgiveness from this beautiful divine mother energy. I don't know if Mother Mary means something to you, but her energy was very present in this advice, and it was about you being able to, like a mother, understand the limitations of whatever this person or situation is and understand where they're at, but you don't need to actually entertain it further or let it bring you down or let it affect you or let it slow you down. For some of you, it feels like there's a lot that you could be doing and moving into, but this energy is like holding you back. And it's about divine timing. It's because you're ready. You're ready for the next phase. You're ready for something new. You're ready for different energy. Like, it is here for you. But if you continue to hang on to the unfairness, I want to say, it doesn't feel fair. It feels, and I didn't want to dive too much into this energy, but it's just coming so clear to me right now, so I'm going to say it. It feels like you have been punished for who you are and for the way that you've shown up, which is as the beautiful, shining, warm soul that you are. And so when you show up that way in your life, you attract so many wonderful things, but you also attract negative attention. And the most heartbreaking is when you feel that from those closest to you. It's like their own insecurities, their own limitations, their own disappointments of wishes and dreams not fulfilled in their own life get projected onto you because you show up high vibing, or you work hard and you make things happen. You are warm and you make the right connections and you call in the right opportunities. You are a star. You create abundance in your life. you're always taking the higher road. You're always living your life from a place of positivity, and your glass is always half full. And you even want to share that glass. You even share it, and you want people to partake and drink out of it. And that is such beautiful energy, and that is such a gift to the planet that you are, that I would hate for you to feel like you need to change that in order for those closest to you, those around you in your energy field, for them to feel comfortable, because then that would be holding you back from your purpose in this life. And so as you sit in this threshold, I hope that you're seeing the opposing force that is showing you how amazing you are and the potential and the possibilities that exist, and that you're not dwelling very long with this other energy that feels like it wanted to take your confidence down, to bring you down a notch, to hold back. Their energy is like holding back the acknowledgement of who you are, so that you doubt so you doubt yourself, so that you doubt your confidence, so that you doubt, did this person really love me? Did this job environment, did this situation really appreciate me? And I want to say the answer to that is yes. You were so appreciated that it was too much, and it was conflicting, and it made this person or situation feel like, almost like they looked at you like you were a lion in a cage, and they felt like the cage. And like they knew that on some level they were holding you back. And so there's a part of them that either neglected you, or held back from you, or really did not express from an emotional depth how they truly felt about you. And for some of you, they may have actually hurt you in ways that, really would tear you down and tear down your confidence. And so the message from Mother Mary around that was, don't believe it for a second, and know who you are, and have the confidence in knowing that none of this has gone unnoticed, and you can move forward in your life knowing that you are entering a new chapter. There will be new people, there will be new contracts, there will be new possibilities. For some of you who want it, there will be new love. And you were asking yourself, and perhaps you're still asking yourself, which is why the energy feels like there is grief here. And if you lost someone, my condolences. But this feels like it feels more energetically like you lost a chapter that you invested a lot of yourself in, and the returns ended up not being what you expected, what you hoped, and it hasn't actually reflected the amount that you invested, which was a lot. You gave a lot of yourself. So the question you might be asking yourself at this time is, should I stay or should I go? And for some of you, you might choose to continue to pour into this. And for others of you, and I would say the majority of you, there's a rebellion in your heart that is saying, no, I would rather live with the pain of this and move forward and let this die, because it's killing me every day anyway. And I think a lot of you are making that decision. I saw you walking around the desert a bit aimlessly, and I did not like that for you. That is not my lion. Okay, that's not my Leo. You are not aimless. You know what you want. You have all the equipment. You have everything you need to be on the hunt. And you will be successful in whatever you pursue. So with that said, I am going to dive into the cards. But as you know, I like to share the energy, the downloads of what needs to be brought to the forefront for you so that you can acknowledge the energies that are at play that need to be released. A lot of releasing for you you're being called to release a lot. If you need to cry it out, cry it out. If you need to party and dance it off and shake it off, do that. Like, do all the things that you need to really release this energy. One of the main reasons why you lost yourself in this energy, in this situation, is because your spiritual practices were not at the forefront. Your creative ideas and endeavors were not at the forefront. This situation was at the forefront. And so there's a recalibration, there's a reshifting of energies and how you spend your time that is going to change this dynamic regardless of whether you stay or go. I wanted to share something with you. My shamanic teacher that I had years ago used to say that if you are not creating, you're dying. And so I want to encourage you at this time, especially if you're in a lot of pain, especially if you feel like something in your life is dying out or if a phase is dying out, I want to encourage you to create something from that place. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a happy thing or a peaceful thing that you create, but if you do, wonderful. If it's something out of pain, out of rage, like, just create something with that energy, because that is a way for you to channel and release that energy so that you can move forward. And when you're in the creative energy, you pour so much of yourself into that you will start to feel like your heart and your faith is being renewed in such a different way. And there's a connection to that, and the way you're going to be showing up down the line once you've completely healed from this. There's some type of communication that you are going to be providing, whether it's the world, it's the way you step into the world, or if it's even just your small intimate circle like your family and your friends. But there's a way that you're going to show up that is so different, that has such a high level of communication, of cooperation, of teamwork. So all of this pain could be leading you to your next endeavor, and it feels like it will be prosperous and successful. But the most important thing actually is how you're going to feel in it. And that's really the way that you're going to show up moving forward in your life. Okay. So, there's definitely, I almost want to say that there's gratitude that needs to be acknowledged from you for all of the other things that are going wonderful, for the support that you've had in terms of your stability, for the gifts that you were born with. Those are also gifts, and those are things to be grateful for. And through that gratitude, decide on something, pick something that you want to create at this time, and really pour your pain into that. And that's going to make the difference of whether you feel depressed or purposeful as you move through this energy, as you make the decision to either stay or go. I want to pull the cards to see what the advice is. I think for a lot of you, it is going to be to end whatever this situation is that feels like you tried. It feels like you really tried a lot. It doesn't feel like this would be on a whim if you chose to walk away. It feels like you've given it a lot of chances to evolve, but it's just not matching where you're going. And there are new connections in the future that you can get excited about. Okay. So I'm going to be pulling from the Water Temple Oracle to see what it is that you need to release at this time. Specifically, we're still in the energy of releasing. And actually, if some of you would like more information about this theme, you should watch the Aquarius reading, because we had that Aquarius full moon where all of this was really heightened, and they've been through something similar. And that energy is in the collective, and because they are your opposite sign, you are probably feeling it just as much as they are. Okay, so I'm getting all the same cards that I've gotten in every other reading. I mean, it's just, I can't really make this stuff up. There's absolutely a rejuvenation that's happening for you in your life, in your spirit, in the way that you show up, in what you really devote yourself to, in the way that you use your time. Now, I love these two cards. I don't know if you can see this here, but this is a lot of powerful energy. You have been in preservation. You haven't been showing up with your gifts the way that you are supposed to. And so there's like this amped up energy right now inside of you that you are ready to unleash into a creative project. This is incredible creative energy. So there's something absolutely that you are being trained to overcome, so that you can be even stronger and at your best when you pour into whatever this new life cycle will be for you. And it has a lot to do with your vision for yourself and your life, and holding that clarity always, no matter who comes into your life, like not compromising your purpose or your gifts for anyone, and making that the priority, making your purpose the number one priority. Then comes you, then comes everything else. So there's a reprioritization, I think I said recalibration, of how you approach the different aspects of your life, and not putting yourself behind in order to feed something that is already lacking. They are already coming from a wound, from them needing something to be filled, and so you're pouring into that hole. And I'm seeing it as a whole, because it's not that you're pouring into a bucket or into a jar or a cup and filling it. You're pouring into one that has a hole. So no matter how much you gave to that situation, it was never going to be full, because that person or that situation needs to do that work to repair that hole, and you cannot do that for them. And they knew that, and that's kind of why it just didn't align anymore. And as much as you try, as much as they try, it's like there is an imbalance there. And so your vision about this is so clear now, and you are ready to harness your full potential. Instead of you holding yourself back, it's like you're ready to be unleashed. You're not holding yourself back for people who, I'll give an example. It's like one person needing support versus thousands, right? It's like you could be showing up for thousands and using that energy, that gift that you've been given, for thousands of people, as opposed to just one person who's not appreciating it and also putting you down along the way, or neglecting you in some way, or holding their energy back from you, right? Because they don't want you to feel as amazing as you are, because they don't feel amazing, right? So this is, again, like a maturity. There's a maturity level that you've reached with all this, and so it's time to understand that from a high level, clean mindset, so that you can understand that you didn't do anything wrong here, and that you're not responsible for the outcome, and that you tried your best, and they don't get to claim a piece of your heart. You are intact. You are still whole. You're bruised. You're in pain. You might be sad, but that will transmute as you step into your creative energy, and there's a lot of it here, and you are really being called to use it. Okay, so I think you're also, some of you may be feeling a lot of regret around this, because you might already be aware that this wasn't a good return on investment, but Spirit doesn't want you to regret. It wants you to understand that you showing up that way is what lets the universe know that you're ready for more. And so don't beat yourself up for going all in, for showing up, leading with your heart, giving your heart fully, open heart, ready to like just take things to the next level, being in that excitement, you know, almost like a kid. Don't regret that. Don't regret what you gave, because it will be rewarded in a different way in your next chapter. Okay. There was a lot of interference too. I don't know if, like, in this particular situation, if we're talking about a person here, some kind of relationship, there could have been like family dynamics that were interfering in this, or friends, or just maybe people from this person's past that started kind of showing up. And so there was like a lot of obstacles and a lot of tests along the way. And, you know, you just wanted to be happy. And so you were overlooking a lot of the challenges, but there were almost too many conflicts. Like, there was more conflict than there was happiness. So even though at a certain point this felt like a dream come true, it just became very difficult to manage. But whatever this new beginning is, like, you're going to be upgrading, right? And so this is just the transition from all these heavy emotions. But again, what I wanted to say is really, like, don't allow this to mark you, to scar you, to make you jaded. I'm going to look into the Luminescence Oracle and look into a little bit of the shadow of how you were showing up. Gratitude. This is, I believe I mentioned this. This is what was coming very loud, is there has almost been like a lack of gratitude for how much you actually have been given. And I'm not saying that you've been reckless in this energy, or that you've been extremely ungrateful, or like a tyrant or anything like that. It's more of just, there's a humility that comes with acknowledging what you've been given. And the humility in this is what attracts more. It's what sustains what you've been given. And so having a lack of gratitude for, let's say, the abundance in your life, the stability in your life, for the little things, right? And just being focused mostly on the challenges and obstacles is going to be like what's depleting your energy. So to refocus, to realign with the important things, like, I woke up today, I was able to have breakfast, I was able to breathe, I'm able to be in this body, I have this ability to create this, and this is the kind of energy I bring when I come into a room, and these are the things that come naturally to me, and I'm so grateful for those gifts, and just like really acknowledging what the universe has given you. There's a sense here with this Independence card of you having done everything that you've done, everything that you've achieved, what you've accomplished, like your skill sets. There's this energy here of like, you feel like you did this on your own. And because a lot of you did, in terms of having, maybe not having the right financial support, maybe not having family around, there's an independent energy that allowed you to build. And so you've almost forgotten how much grace was in that, because you were so dedicated and you worked so hard, but there were a lot of things that were also given. And so there needs to be an acknowledgement of that, so that you can Yeah, and here's the persistence. You know, by you acknowledging these things and stepping into listing all the things that you do have, even within this grief and even within this loss, there's an energy that's been depleted from you, and you're going to regain it from acknowledging those things, okay? So there's also here a need to, this is very, very interesting, because the way that I'm seeing this is like you were super independent and a go-getter and hardworking in things that weren't really your passion. And now you're being called to bring that type of persistence to something that is actually going to feed your soul, as opposed to give you stability or further your career. There's something that you're going to do that's going to help people on the planet, help the world in some way. And if not, it's just something that, some experience that you've had that you need to pour of that into this project, and it's going to grow into something really beautiful. And so there's like a shift in being persistent with things that don't feed you, to investing in things that do. And I think that this is also telling me, like with this gratitude card, that you were looking for acknowledgement from the wrong people as well. And that's been very disappointing. Like, in a sense, like you want to feel loved. And of course, I mean, who doesn't? That's such a genuine human need. But you want to feel loved and admired, for example, by this energy that you are now in pain from. And it holds back, right, as we talked about. And so the universe here is saying, well, shift your focus from seeking that love and admiration from this energy and shift it into this other energy of, you know, your creative projects, or even the people who you feel totally get you, and they express to you how important you are in their life, and they have no issue saying that, because they're not coming from insecurity or lack. They're matching that energy, and this is about you creating that circle for yourself as well. Okay, so here are the choices that you're having to make right now. Should I leave this behind? Should I stay in this? Should I move forward? Okay, maybe I left this behind. Was that a mistake? Should I go back? There's some kind of guidance here that you need in terms of these choices. But it is within you. You already know. And for whatever reason, you're avoiding making that decision, or you're avoiding accepting the decision you already made. But you know. This feels like you already know, and you're seeking some kind of external guidance. Maybe some of you are seeking some kind of conversation with this other energy, this other party, to understand your own feelings. But you already know what happened. Like, you don't need them to say anything to you. In fact, that conversation might be even more confusing. So make sure, what's in the shadow here is like, make sure you are being guided from your inner self and your own truth. Okay. So that's what's in the shadow, my friends. And I'm going to start pulling from the tarot. I hope that you are vibing with this energy right now, with this message that's coming through for you. I thank you so much for being here. I love spending my time with you guys. I'm recording this on my Friday night, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be than sitting with my Leo gang in that Leo energy. I have a Leo rising, if you can't tell. But it is energy that I love to be in. I love to be around it. It's so supportive. You guys are really a gift, and you're really warm, and You just make everything fun, and you're also just really good at things. And that comes with a little bit of heat, a little bit of backlash, a little bit of, evil eye sometimes. And so you just have to get used to that and understand that it's the Mother Mary message. It's understanding that, almost like the way you look at a child, right? Like if you, let's say one of your kids is like jealous of the other kid, you would probably have compassion for the one who's jealous, not the one who's like really good at something, right? The other, you would be like, oh wow, I feel bad for that child. I hope that they know that they too have this potential if they did X, Y, Z, right? So understanding more where they're coming from, and not saying that you have to put up with it at all, but just in your mind understanding so that you don't take it on a level where it starts to affect your own self-esteem and your own confidence, because it's ultimately not really about you. Spirit, what's the general energy of Leo for the rest of the month? We also have the eclipses happening in September. So, yeah, you are conflicted. This is you feeling anxious, confused, hurt, betrayed. You're not at peace. You're not at peace with whatever the situation has been for you. And it's stopping you from being who you typically are, which is this person who lives their life from passion and celebration. And hopefully you do have a circle of people that are supporting you at this time, but it feels like you need healing, you need love, you need comfort, you need people who you feel safe around, and not people who you have to have your guard up against. Okay. And so maybe some of you are thinking, where do I go find that? What can I do to feel better? But there is a completion here of you finally understanding that this isn't yours to carry. You don't have to carry the insecurities and the inconsistencies and the lack of others. And I think you might possibly be very empathetic, and so you are internalizing the pain that people have wanted you to carry for them. And so that's why there's a lot of release coming out here. But yeah, there's like a lack. There's a lack of, for some of you, I talked about there being perhaps a conversation, some type of communication that you feel that you need to move forward. But I honestly don't think that you need it to make this choice. You already know that this energy is competitive, and it makes you feel like you have to be on guard, and it's always challenging you, right? This is also the threshold. And you want to start new, and you want to focus on the things that really make you happy. Okay. I got ahead of myself there. What's the goal here? I love when the cards just start speaking to me that I just completely even forget to ask questions. It just starts guiding me. Yeah. You got the Hangman again. What's blocking this energy? It's in the Strength here. More. Okay. This is you showing up very loud and clear, very strong, very determined. This is your vision for your life. This is you wanting to take charge, to take back the control, take back your reign, to start to invest all of that beautiful, sacred heart, time, and energy that you poured into other things, and start pouring it into all the other amazing things that you want to see happen in your life, to come into fruition for you. Okay? You don't want to wait anymore. You understand that your time is now and that you're ready, and you don't want to wait anymore to be this independent boss, to work for yourself, to put some kind of messaging out there, to be not only a leader out there, but to lead yourself into this new paradigm. This is like a massive shift that's happening for you. And clarify the star card here. What's been blocking this? What's been delaying this, I'll say. So there is something that you have been pouring into. This could be a side project. This could even be just your own healing. There's something that you have been doing that you haven't realized that this thing is very closely related to your next phase, the next chapter, that is you living in alignment. So you doing something that aligns for you with your highest good. This is North Star energy. So you've been kind of ignoring that in a sense, whatever this calling is, whatever this calling has been. And I got that energy earlier where you were not using your gifts. You were too focused on making this thing work and investing in this thing for whatever reason, that you were not really focusing on pouring your gifts into the world in some way. And so that's the only thing that stopped your success in this, not in the energy that's been depleting you, but your success for the vision that you have of your life. The only thing stopping that is that you just haven't taken action on it. Or you've had this idea, or maybe you have started to take baby steps in this, but you haven't gone full throttle in it yet. Okay. And I love this because for your strength, you get a 10 and a 1. So this is an ending and a new beginning. And this new beginning is heart-led. It is about you doing something that really fulfills your soul. It really fulfills you at a core level where you feel embodied. You wake up every day and your purpose is so clear, and you're happy whether someone acknowledges that or not. And that's the main difference here, is you expecting that type of acknowledgement from someone when you're not actually even there yourself yet. And this is your strength, is that this is how you're going to move forward from now and on. Like, that has become so clear to you after this heartbreaking experience. Some of you may have also, I will just say this is not for everyone. This is only if you found out something recently about maybe a partnership. There's some kind of, it feels like you discovered something. Somebody maybe fessed up, or you found something, or someone came forward and told you that there was some kind of like interference in this dynamic that was deceiving, some kind of betrayal, and that is what's keeping you up at night. That is what has you feeling pain. We don't have the 3 of Swords out here yet, which makes me really happy. It makes me feel like you're actually 2 steps ahead of the heartbreak, so, or meaning like past it. And so it might have been an initial blow, or this could have been a slow burn, but you are in the healing phase. Now, you're almost, I would say you're at the end of the healing phase. Like, you're almost ready to just get up and go. And I think that's why your goal has come out. King of Wands, Hangman reverse, is like you're tired of waiting. You're tired of waiting for your new beginning. So you're just going to go get up and get it for yourself. One more in the environment. Knight of Pentacles. with Temperance. So you have identified something that you want to do. This is something that already exists. It could just exist in the ethers, and it could just be like a plan in your mind. But there is something that you want to invest in for the long term. And it's going to be quite the journey. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but it's going to be a reflection of the balance that you're able to achieve within yourself. And it's also going to be dependent on you walking away from whatever this energy was that was depleting you and making you feel like you weren't worthy of something. This is you dropping all of that, and here's your justice, right? Here's your justice, and then here's you actually taking down the house and saying, I'm done. This is, to me, this feels like a choice that is being made to walk away from something that was not built on a proper foundation, okay? Yeah, and here you are going towards this new thing, towards dreams, towards the ideas that you have for yourself. You really, it almost has this energy of like, I'm done healing. And this is sort of like the last bit of it. What's in the timing of this, Spirit? And the next steps. Yeah, this is about you building a certain foundation. This is about you building a foundation that is unwavering. This is very stern, fixed energy. This is like giving me like Aquarian and Capricorn energy here. It's very stern, very fixed, very committed, okay? It's like your commitment around your purpose, your value, your worth, your heart, your life is going to be stronger than ever. But it's almost like you can't pass go until you get this clarity, until you're in this strength for yourself, because what's coming next is big. And so in a way, you're being protected. Like if you don't see these opportunities lining up at the door right now, or you don't see the doors that you need to walk through right now, is because this is going to take a lot of grounding on your part, a lot of planning, a lot of strategy. And these are all things that you're really good at. So it's just about you doing that now for something that you're just going to feel passionate about. So this is you establishing the foundation, laying down the ground rules, I want to say, the new rules, and the roots as well. I think there's also some type of cooperation here. This is a group dynamic. This is teamwork. So there might be people that are going to support this, whatever it is that you want to create. There's going to be support and energies that complement yours, that recognize what it is that you're doing, and they want to be a part of it. Okay. So yeah, in your next steps, here's this Divine Mother, Mother Mary energy with the Queen of Cups here. This is you taking the high road. This is you saying, I don't care for this fighting. I don't care for these challenging energies, for these confrontations even. I don't care for this competitive energy that wants me to feel as bad as they do, right? There's a maturity here, an emotional maturity, a mastery of your feminine energy that understands when something is done. And I do see you communicating from a very well-balanced, mature place, but this is you communicating from emotional intelligence to put an end to this fighting once and for all. So this is you taking the high road, and Spirit is wanting you to do that, and that is the next step that's going to allow you to step into creating a new foundation that's more solid, because this will be a reflection of where you're at, right? I think there's also a need here to ask yourself the truth about what you really want. at the end of the day. And not what looks good, not what's expected of you. Like, what do you actually want? The approach here. There's again a calling for you to solidify your commitment to yourself through some type of spiritual practice that you need to do every day to help you release energies every single day, because you getting into the habit of doing that is going to set the tone for every single day and every single project and every single interaction. Like, you need to be setting the tone from this place of maturity. And it's almost, it feels like, you know, Leo's considered royalty, but it's like you're actually stepping into that royalty now and embodying that grace. And for you to do that, you're going to need to move away from people being able to pull on your heartstrings and on your emotions, and you're going to need to be able to control that within yourself and put it somewhere. And so there's a need for you to really have a centered, non-physical practice that is only for you. It's your me time, and it's between you and your God, basically, and you are going to nourish and replenish from that. Now, in the approach here, I love to see the Three of Wands, because this tells me that you've already made this choice, whether you've pulled the trigger on it or not. Internally, you've made this choice, and so now you're waiting for the next chapter. Okay, so there's, yes, a massive release in that. The choice has been made, and now you are clear that whatever it is that you invested in before, like, it's almost like you've become aware of where you lost yourself in it and what mistakes you won't repeat. And there are different things that are going to be coming your way, actually, after you've made this choice. There's things that you're waiting on, like opportunities, people, projects. There's going to be many of them. So don't, like, I guess the advice that I'm trying to give from that energy is, don't entertain all of it, because it's all you're just so magnetic in this energy of like, okay, I'm beginning a whole new life cycle, that you're going to be attracting people who want to be a part of that, right? There is collaboration and teamwork in your environment, so you will be doing something, but just remember to focus and not get lost in whatever other people are wanting you to create. Like, don't forget why you made this choice, and don't forget whatever this thing is that you already know is part of your path and your alignment and what you are meant to be creating. Like, you already know what that is, so don't get lost in the other things that come knocking on your door, because there will be many of them, and they will look very appealing, very enticing. So just like there's a I guess an advice here to focus on the thing that you want the most. And that's why getting this clarity is going to be so important. Like, what do I want to invest in next? Clarify the Seven of Cups here. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of cards. Okay, yes. So what you want to invest in here is something that is going to give back to you as much as you pour into it. Meaning that you're actually going to enjoy doing this. You're actually going to have fun creating it. You are going to feel passionate about this. Your persistence is going to come from passion. And I think the most important message that this is bringing is that you are meant to serve in some way. And so whatever this is, let it be to help others in some way. And that is the best use of your pain. That's what this whole new path is about for you. I love it. Look at that. It's giving purpose to all of these heartbreaks And it's turning your disillusionment into passion for existence again. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. I think I need to end it there. I think that was a lot, and that was like literally just, that was the wrap up right there. That's all we need to know. Spirit, can I get a moon message to wrap this reading up? Gosh, I really hope that you took something from this, because this is very, very powerful. Okay, beauty raises my vibration. I seek it out for healing and joy. So this is possibly for some of you like this circle that I was seeing of people who support you and allow you to just be you, be your beautiful self, go do things that make you feel good, that enhance your beauty, that raise your vibration. I know myself deeply and find myself worthy. So whatever this energy was that was making you feel unworthy, it's not here anymore. And congratulations for knowing your worth and walking away from it. And if you haven't yet, that discernment is coming of you making this shift. Whether that person is there or not, you are making this shift. I assess matters carefully and discern wisely. And then last but not least, I'll read this one because it came into my awareness. I accept that here now is exactly where I am, and that is the place of profound learning. Okay, my loves, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. Please drop me a comment if you did. Let me know what hit a chord, what hit home. Let me know how you've been, what you've been up to. I love to hear from you guys. And thanks for watching. I love you.